Oh, boy, I tell you.
Yeah. I'd like to welcome you to Show Love. I am the host, Alvin.
And I'm Andrea.
And we're going to be going over some interesting topics today. I hope you all are ready. But, baby, I had this one thing. People like asking me all the time, what do you do to make your ends meet? It just seems like you got it looking where it's so easy. You make life look easy.
And you know that number one question really is, I'll get, well, where does your husband work? Or you'll get, where does your wife work? Because sometimes you can make money, I guess we make money look like it's flowing, which is not always the case. Every now and then as a couple, when you're making ends meet, especially if you are not silver spoon. Are you silver spoon?
No, I don't.
You didn't get a silver spoon.
No, I
didn't. You don't have an inheritance.
No, I couldn't find
trust
one.
fund child.
No.
Well, neither am I. So if you come from a family where everybody's kind of having to take care of their end meets on their own, then as a couple, you might have to do a little hustling.
Oh, man, those days of trying to make those ends meet. And
you may think, I can't do anything. I don't have any extra talents. I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to. I don't have any extra skills. But yes, you do. You take for granted sometimes some skills that you have that you do every day. Like me, everyone that knows me know that I always joke that I'm the maid at home. That I had my girls cleaning when they were growing up. Alvin, you participated with us growing up. So one of our first couple hustles was a make ready business where we went and made ready apartments when people moved out. So we weren't a cleaning service. We had only apartments that when a person moved out, the apartment complex paid us to clean that apartment to get it ready.
Or make ready.
And then they called us back to clean it once the person got in. So we made double on that. So that would be an example of us just using everyday something that you take for granted of. I think one of the normal other things that people do, lawn service, as a man, you have to get out in the yard and do a lawn service. And it doesn't have to be big. Maybe in the beginning, you're just doing a few yards where you can make a little ends meet. Everything doesn't have to be a business. Some things can be it doesn't have to be an ongoing business. It can be, I need to make $2,000. Let's do this.
Right. Time
frame. And, and there were some things too, like sometimes you can do something out of an interest.
Out of an interest. You can have an interest, like if what are you good at? You could an interest. I had an interest, and my interest coming up was just fixing stuff. I would always want to fix stuff when I came up, and now it just grew into I grew into a grown man, and boy, I'll be waiting on something to break because I'm trying to fix it.
We hadn't turned that into a hustle yet. One of your biggest interests was football.
Yeah, football. That was one of my great talents.
That was a talent and an interest that we turned into a hustle.
Right. So that football. Played that for a while, and just it didn't make any money off of it. It was just a talent. But then also I had a interest and a talent of being a barber. I really liked that.
But to your interest in football, you did do something with football. What did we do with football?
Oh yeah, we went out and we got we went and got our own minor league football team. And in the beginning, it was kind of hard to start up because you had to try to find people to play. And when you're trying to get grown people to do a sport that they might get injured, that was kind of hard. But we ended up doing that for 2 years, and the team turned out to be pretty good.
And we helped people too. There were a few guys that went out of playing on the team that, even though that particular hustle didn't bring in money, it gave us something to do, and it helped people help another person to, or a couple people to go play over in the European League. So that was an example of us doing a couple hustles, and then like you were saying, like you mentioned that barbering was something that you did as a talent that became a hustle. How'd you do that?
Wow, that was a great story. I remember when you went and signed me up for barber school. I didn't know what
I didn't think you was gonna share
I
that.
didn't know what I was gonna do. I said I'm finna go to school, but hey, I did it and I loved it, and I appreciate you for doing that because that was a change in my life to where I started seeing things a lot brighter and better, and how to go out and do for my family and provide a little extra.
And you really like doing it too. I felt like whenever you were barbering, and even now when you do cut people's hair, that you have more of a relationship with them. It wasn't just the fact that you were barbering and you kept wads of what people would see, wads of dollars in your pocket,
right? Cheeseburgers
in your pocket. But the fact that you would work, because you do work a job, a 9-to-5 job, and then you would get off and still cut hair. And a lot of men, and I applaud you on that, because some men wouldn't do that. They would feel like, it was too much, but you did it for us.
And it was, in the beginning, it was, it was kind of tiresome, but hey, I was grown to love it.
Yeah. And you involved the girls too, because the girls were in the shop, and I guess that's one thing too. When you're a couple and you hustle, you model for your children what to do when they need money.
Right.
Our children know they will strike up a business in a heartbeat, or a hustle in a heartbeat. Right now, the youngest is in college. She's like, I know how to dread hair. I'm a dread hair. Or she's selling eyelashes. She's good at makeup, so she's a makeup artist.
She's doing it, doing what it takes.
The oldest is in her career, and she's a mother, and they watched us hustle. Very, very rarely do they ask us to assist them. I just hear about a business. She's like, "Hey, Mom, I'm doing websites on the side, and I'm writing grants." And I guess we modeled that for them. That just because you are not silver spoon, because we don't have a silver spoon, we didn't give them a silver spoon, but they watched us to know that as a couple, that we have to have a little hustle in us. And as a woman, I feel great about them, that they're women that when times get hard in their relationship, they're not going to look at their husband sideways. They're going to be like, look, baby, we need to get a hustle. That's what my mom and daddy used to do.
Mom and daddy, they got out. And
whenever we needed something or we wanted something, the answer wasn't no. It was we need to work for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know that we surround ourselves around couples that have talents too. And one couple that we know are the Petersons, and the husband of that team Peterson is Printon, and he has a graphic business right now. It's called P2 Graphics, and he's spelling it P, the number 2, and graphics is GRAPHIX. And I'm gonna tell you, Printon is very talented. He's an artist every sense of the word. He's using his creativity, and he's not just making T-shirts and sweatshirts and different items and drawings and stuff. The guy's talented.
He's talented.
He's not just
Very
finding
talented.
some clip art. He's like creating clip art and stuff. And so if you want some fly gear, look up P2 Graphics on Facebook. That's P2 and then graphics with the X, GRAPHIX. That's Printon Peterson. He's representing the couple duo of Team Peterson. And Miss Peterson also has a couple hustle things on the side, but today we're highlighting P2 Graphics. So go to P2 Graphics, get you something. I just got my sweatshirt for my granddaughter today. It's really tight. Wish this was a video, I would show it to you, but since we're potting, you're just gonna have to take my word for it.
Yeah, and take our word for it. It's nice.
It's nice. It's real fly.
Really nice. Well, over the weekend, we had some great NFL football matchups. I know, baby. She is ready for football season to be over.
This was the worst football season ever. I'm like, I can't even watch it.
I'm telling you, our team did not fare out good this year. So
nobody looks like a regular football team. It's like, oh my goodness, I tried to be there for you this year and be with the football. I'm your football sidekick, but other than having
COVID took our football.
It took our football. And I couldn't even watch. None of them looked the same. It was awful. But anyway, I guess it's still a season. Do you want to tell them about it?
It's down to the end. We're down to the last couple of teams playing in the playoffs. And, man, I want to tell you, they had some great games on this weekend. And I tell you, this weekend coming up is going to be the Super Bowl, I do believe, because we got the Kansas City Chiefs are going to take on the Buffalo Bills. That's the Super Bowl, because those two teams right there, those teams are top-notch teams.
Now, let me ask you this. If I watch football this weekend, am I going to sit next to you the whole time, or am I going to get up and go clean the house and work on the project?
You're going to want to see these last two teams playing this weekend. You're going to want to see them.
So I need to get our football appetizers together.
Yeah, we're going to have to get our spreads ready for this weekend. Okay. And they got the first game is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Old Tom Brady. Tom Brady done went to another team, and he's shining, finna take somebody else to the Super Bowl. if he's not stopped by the Green Bay Packers, which that may be the case. But I think I'm going to make a call on this Super Bowl early. This is going to be my early prediction. I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills over the Chiefs simply because the quarterback got hurt yesterday from Kansas City. And I don't know, he's in protocol for a concussion, and usually that takes about 2 weeks. He may not be back for this weekend for that playoff game. So they may not have him this weekend, and that might hurt the Chiefs this weekend. And on the other hand, the Packers and the Bills. No, I'm sorry, the Packers and the, let me see my screen. The Packers and the Buccaneers. Sorry. I think I want to go with old Rodgers. Rodgers, I think he's going to come above Tom Brady this weekend. So that's going to be your football wrap up. I think we got some good games this weekend, though, babe. I think we can get the popcorn and everything else ready and sit back and enjoy.
Might make you some meat this time. Instead of us having vegan sides, instead of us having cauliflower hot wings, we might get the hot wings.
What you say? I can't have no cucumber sandwiches?
Oh, now I can make you a cucumber sandwich.
Oh, no, I just was kidding. You don't have to say it twice. I just was kidding.
So we might have us a variety of spread. We'll be 85%ers. We'll have some meat, some not. How about that?
Yeah, we can do. We can try that.
Yeah. So you know what? I know you're like, babe, where are you? Matter of fact, when you was watching football this weekend, when I was disappointed because I couldn't stay focused on that, whatever that was you were watching, I found a series, Leftovers. And you start watching toward the end. When I tell you I was glued to the TV, they have 3 people from every walks of life. Sometimes they may be people who have a chef background. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just like to cook. But they give these people leftovers and have them turn the leftover into a whole new meal. So like if it's a Italian meal, mm-hmm. The new meal that they create can't taste anything like Italian. And right. I'm going to tell you, I was glued to the TV. It was just amazing, some of the things. Then they took one of the episodes, they took a Thanksgiving meal, and they had to turn it into a dessert. And I was
now, how can you do that?
It was amazing. And some of these people, now that particular episode, they did have people who were, like one of the people was a culinary teacher. The other one was a culinary student in high school and then became an instructor. So they had some people that kind of knew what they were doing. Right. And then one of the ladies then was like a gluten-free type of chef. But I have been glued to the TV. This is almost up there with The Floor is Lava. You remember how we sat there and watched The Floor is Lava? Every now and then you need something.
COVID to have you watching everything on TV.
So I'm like on episode 6 or 7, and I just found this when Sunday, which that's one day, and then I caught you kind of coming in and watching it with me. So what you think about it?
I'm gonna have to piggyback off the back end. Well, they did have some Asian Chinese food that they had, and they had to turn it into something, a dish. And I was like, how are they going to be able to get the flavors off of what's already been seasoned already?
Yeah, because usually your Asian food is heavily seasoned. Yeah. And
this one guy made some kind of roll and made some ice cream with it. And I was like, oh my.
No, what about the guy that took the noodles and he drained them and squeezed them and pressed them through and made a wonton out of it?
They were just they could do all kind of stuff. Now the show got me into it because I'm like, I want to see what they're going to make.
And next. I used to think I was a leftover queen. Now, after seeing that, I don't know. And I'm talking about the meals that they're making are gourmet. Like, they're nice. Yeah. It's not some old mess like you take your leftover spaghetti and turn it into a spaghetti bake. No.
It looks like they got it from a top-notch restaurant. They got all the little fixings on there, and the way they plate it.
Because plating is one of the things that the judge.
It don't even look the same.
And then that Rosemary, the one judge on there, she does not play. The one that's from, I can't remember where she's from, Europe somewhere.
Europe, yeah, I think she's from Europe.
But she was like, she doesn't play with them. She's like, look at this. This is how's this thrown on the plate and stuff. So I don't know. So that series right now, a little fun something if you want to take the edge off. When you don't like the football game that's on, you can watch the series Leftovers.
We got a couple of weeks, and then I guarantee you can have the TVs back in about 3 more weeks.
Yep. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss with you too, like I know every episode we try to do a wifey's and a hubby corner, and I want to go first this week because you went first last week.
Ladies first.
Yes, ladies first. So in the wifey's corner, I'm so proud of myself because I have redecorated the whole house for like less than $1,000, like every room, because I thought outside of the box. Our furniture, we take care of our stuff. It wasn't falling apart. And, as a woman, you want new furniture. As a man, you're like, ain't nothing wrong with the furniture. So if you're in that position where your husband's like, wait a minute, ain't nothing wrong with that furniture you bought that you had to have that was top notch. Ladies, you can take the pillows on your sofa and cover them with pillow covers. And they've got all kind of pillow covers. Back in the past, there were cheesy pillow covers. And something else I learned is your dining room set. I had the traditional Victorian cherry wood dining room set. And I was like, we sit in there, but when people come, they just kind of look like, oh, we can't go in there. That's the like dining room.
Like they can't move.
Like they can't relax
can I sit right here?
And I'm like, yes, you can sit. So I decided to make it a little more casual. So I took the seats, and they have covers for those now too. And so what used to be the sage green plush seat is now a fox leather, brown leather seat. And that way I was able to cover the table with something different to look a little bit more casual. And we've had a couple of dinners in there ourselves. We've had friends over for my 5th year, a couple, just one because it's COVID. And I felt like it was nice to just sit in there. And as many times that they've come over, they've never really have been, in the living room. Everybody just kind of looks over. The dining room. They just kind of look over in the dining room. Then our bedroom. I'm working on it now. I'm so excited because I had to meditate and dig deep. What do I want our bedroom to look like? Because I'm not a girly girl when it comes to a bedroom. And then I always felt like because we shared a bedroom that I didn't want you always coming into flowers and things because you have to live in there too. So I've done really good about it. You have to give me that. But this time I said, I since we've been having this awakening of about ancestors and we're having this longing for Africa, I'm starting to put our heritage, our newfound heritage. We did that ancestry and found out that we're both majority Nigerian. Yes, trying to have that flavor in the house, to have that connection or whatever. So the bedroom, I got duvets, and that's what we usually have in there. It was easy to change it to duvet. And I did the same thing. All the pillows are covered instead of buying new covers. That saved a lot of money. Then same thing, pillow covers. Changed some of the color schemes around to be reflective of a whole different vibe. And so did I accomplish that? Do you feel like when you walk in, like it looks different?
And it looks totally different. I walk into the room and you can notice that it was bright. The first day I went in there, after she went in and did all of that, she and you went in and did that, it was just bright. And I was like, man, it's bright in here. Almost like we had a light on in the room. But it looks really good. I love it. And sometimes change is good.
Too. And we didn't have to go buy our new stuff. Now, our splurge, though, was because we can't go to the bars and stuff, was a bar. And that was for you. So, whenever you're decorating, ladies, try not to think just your house. Remember that he lives there, too. That's so right. I looked at Alvin and I was like, what does Alvin need? Since I toned down the dining room for me, I toned the living room down. I guess you could say now we don't have a living room. We have a great room because it has a bar in there now. And that allows for us to use that room too. And it was weird because it feels like we moved. We never used it. That's the first time we ever used the room. Yeah, we sit in there from time to time. Beforehand, it was like a ladies' place. You would sit there and talk across from each other. Or sometimes we would listen to jazz in there. But now, we watch football in there. We've watched a movie in there. We dance in there. It's like a spot that we actually use in the house. And the girls are kind of shocked because it's like, y'all are sitting in here? Y'all over here? You're not on that side? Of course. So Wifey's Corner is all about redecorating your home. Ladies, even though you are a wife, and if you're like me, I am a co-pilot, I do work, I'm not a stay-at-home mom, it does not mean that you have to put down your ladies card, your woman's card. Take care of your house, make sure your house is nice. And my father, God rest his soul, he used to always tell me that, man don't want to come home to no dirty house. Let me tell you that lie. He don't. And if he do, you don't need to be with him. He wants your house to look nice. And I'm not saying to go buy expensive stuff. I told you now, I'm bougie on the budget. Most of the things I bought, I love things on sale. I like vintage stuff. I love thrifting, whatever I can do. And I put it all together. And usually I surprise myself because when you're doing it on a budget, whether you're doing the new trend now is the Dollar Tree DIYs where you do it yourself. Yeah. And I do have a few of those things in. So as a woman, just make sure that you take time and make sure your house is reflecting of the greatness that you are. So that's the Wifey's Corner.
Wow. Sounds good. Like I say, everyone, it looks good. Every room that I go in now is like a different room. It's just totally transformed and changed the look of that room from how it used to look in each room. And you did a great job on that.
Thank you.
Great job. Well, now I'm going to come down to my corner. It's the hubby's corner.
All right.
And man, I tell you, I've been doing this for years and years, and
Baby, tell how many years, please tell me.
I got to tell y'all, I had my old truck. Okay, my truck has been sitting in the garage, and I said, well, I'm gonna get it fixed. 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 Time and time again. Even the girls were like, Daddy, just get rid of that truck.
We've been hoping somebody would just come take the truck.
What happened? I've been doing some research, and I checked on a few things, and I was like, well, let me do this.
Y'all, it's been 10 years. He didn't say the years. It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
It's been sitting in the garage for 10 years. It has, let me paint the picture for you. It is a part of the garage, literally. It's got beach stuff in there. It's got toys the kids used to have. It's got stuff in there from when I used to teach in the classroom, and I hadn't been in the classroom, been out the classroom for a while. Like, we pretty much, if we could roll it out the garage, we could have a Tahoe yard sale, just that. Probably make hundreds of dollars, yes.
But guess what? You won't be able to do that because guess what? I got it running.
I heard it. When it crunk up, I went, wow.
And I tell you, I had a smile on my face when that thing turned over. If y'all could have just seen my smile out there in my garage, I was like, oh my, the dead has arisen. So now, the talk that I talked 10 years ago, I can finally go through with what I was trying to do 10 years ago. And that's get it out of the garage.
And I could stop leaving it open, hoping somebody will roll it out of there.
So, yeah. and it is the thing. Every time when I had pulled it out before, I drove to the store before it had stopped working. And the old guy, he was up at the Circle K, and he was like, hey, man, that's a nice truck you got there. He said, how much you want for it? I said, shoot, man, I ain't never even thought about selling. He said, man, that's a nice looking truck. He said, less the wheels. He said, that's a nice looking truck. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, I brought old Blue back to life. I called his nickname was Optimus. Because at that time when the Transformer was out, I gave him that name when I bought him. He looked like a little Transformer back then. Had the wheels on it, the 22-inch wheels. Now,
for the record, we do not dislike the Blue truck. We just felt like it needed to be moved. Like, it just couldn't sit there like the Bumblebee did for years and years and not ever moved.
Well, Bumblebee, see how much dust? He didn't even get much dust like Bumblebee got.
He sure didn't.
So now,
are you going to drive it, though?
I'm going to get it up and going, and then I'll see from there. But my main focus is me trying to sell it and just getting it out of here because we want to try to be able to get our other car in the garage. Okay. So that's my main goal, and then that'll give us a little bit where we can clean on the other side of the truck that we couldn't get to because the Blue truck was there and get some of that stuff out of there and clean it all up.
What's the point of this hubby's corner? Is it
now the part of the hubby corner is that it always let men know that you can always go out and take care of something that you've been trying to take care of for years. I've been trying to do this when I tell y'all for years, and I guess I got busy at times and wouldn't mess with it, or I would go out there and I would fool with it and it wouldn't do. Then I said, hold on, wait a minute. I looked at some videos of what the problem may be, and I tell you, I went and did it, and voila.
And it worked. Yeah.
So I would like to thank YouTube, because YouTube is the new mechanic to where if you need any kind of information on fixing a car, you can go on YouTube and all the information is there, what you need to do. I even found out something on my wife's car. Truck, yeah. Mm-hmm. And now I think I might have that one taken care of, and I'm going to check that out next. I'm not a mechanic now. I work on things because I like fixing things, but I'm not a mechanic. I will say that.
And I will say, wives out there, as a wife, I had to be very patient about the truck just sitting there and giving him the opportunity to work on it. And I think 10 years is a very long time to be patient.
Yeah, you were patient.
I was very patient. Now, I will be honest. I did do some old passive-aggressive statements about the truck.
Yeah, and I did some passive Christmas statement back, y'all. Yeah. You know how that might have went.
So we, but when it crunk up, he was out there smiling, and I sat up like, oh, snap, it's gonna run. so yeah.
So that's the thing, guys. When you got something in the hubby's corner, what we always going to talk about, we're going to talk about something that you need to do or something that you can fix, or it's going to be some interesting talks. And this was a good, interesting talk, because I know some guys might say, babe, wow, you still got that thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up and going, and I am proud that I got it going. So, moving on.
I'm gonna tell you, this next thing with the hot seat, I'm almost hesitant to even do this question, because this is one of those things that I know comes up in marriages, and this is going to be an interesting one. You want to read it, or you want me to read it?
Okay. You had it last time. I'm going to try my stab at it this time. Okay. We split the bills, but I buy groceries, get supplies to clean and manage the house. Out of the both of us, I can't save because I barely have gas money. Wow.
And see, what I like about this question, I guess the thing that got me with it is that we don't know if this is the husband
or the wife.
Because this day and age, we just can't make that assumption. Right. So how do we address that? Do you want to maybe go from the point of view if it's the husband?
If from the husband point of view, once you got married, you became one. So with that being said, when you became one, your bank accounts became one. Because you don't live in separate households, so why can't your money be together? So put everything in the pot and then go from there. Work out of what you can work out of, and whatever left at the end, then you split it between the two of you, and then you go and live.
And I guess I think of it the same way. I don't know. I feel like I have more questions in order to understand this concern because of the different things that was said. It says we split the bills. So that lets me know already that if you split in the bills that you don't have your money, like you say, all at once. And then it sounds like, okay, you split the bills, but we didn't put groceries and cleaning supplies and all that stuff in there with the bills. So that's coming out of, I guess what I'm getting from this is coming out of your extra money. I'm not sure. And then you're saying that out of the both of you that you can't save any money and you barely have gas money left. Lets me know that the other person, when y'all split the bills, which if it's the husband, if they're not having to take care of home things outside of bills that are still necessary in the house, and I feel like there needs to be a conversation then. I mean, if you feel like that you don't have anything with gas money left, then my question to you would be, hey, honey, I noticed you around here balling after you get your part of the bills is paid, but me, I barely can put gas money. Can we sit down and maybe discuss putting groceries in the bills, something, because I don't have no money left. So I would say that to this person, whether you are the husband or the wife, the biggest thing right now I see that's a deficit in relationships is communication. You shouldn't have to feel like you barely have money left suffering in your relationship. You should be able to bring that to your spouse's attention.
Because that can weigh a man down.
Now, when you're doing it, though, if it is the man, or even if it's the woman. Yeah. And now the thing is, don't go with your, almost said the word, we got to be, don't go with your bottom on your shoulders. When you go to your spouse, make sure that you go with the passion of the fact they don't have money left. Don't go when you went in your pocket, you didn't have no money left, when you at the 100. Don't do it then, because that conversation may not come across the way you want it to come across. And we have done that. Being together as long as we have, I'm like, I know you well enough. You're not gonna lie and make like we never had an argument about money. But I think through the years, what I have learned is that you never have a conversation when you're in the midst of your pain that you're going through. Right. Because I'm not a weak woman and you're not a weak man. That's not going to go well. No. I'm going to hope that the people together are two strong folks. So don't go and have a conversation and amp somebody up when you amped if you don't want the conversation to be amped. You're going to stand your ground and she's going to stand her ground. We got to stand the ground, especially if you're equal. An argument. Yeah, especially if you're equal. So, but for this person to bring this up, I can feel their pain. So my suggestion would be to have a conversation.
A sit down and talk.
Yeah. And so, you know what? Maybe our next episode can be about money. Because that's come up a lot. So maybe the next episode can be about money. What do you think?
I think so. That's very interesting and something that that I think is very important in relationships is money, because that's what really funnels the family. It's a lifestyle for you. And it's a way of life.
And sometimes that's a deal breaker on whether or not people can stay together or not.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's a reason why people might be the underlying reasons for somebody to want to be with you. It might be the money and not you. So yeah, maybe our next episode needs to be about money.
That might sound like a little gold digging.
And for the record, women are not the only ones that gold dig.
I'm not saying, I didn't say.
I just kind of felt like that. I had to stand up a little bit. All right, so wow, that was a good episode. I think that if you have other topics, you want to give them to us, you can go to our website, which is couples. So couple, standing for one of us, 4couples.com. Or you can text or voicemail us. Leave us a voicemail at 762-499-2005. Again, 762-499-2005. We want you to follow us on Facebook, Couple for Couples, and on our Instagram. And then if you want to find our podcast, we're on most of the platforms now. We're on iTunes, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And iHeart is coming soon. And then if you're just not into a podcast, and like Alvin mentioned earlier, if you like YouTube, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel at Couple for Couples. So just look for Couple for Couples. And the way we have ourselves set up, we're as one. That's probably another topic that we could talk about. The first name when you're searching is Couple for. And then the last name is Couples. Okay. So as always, I enjoyed this episode. This was an interesting episode.
It was
I'm actually learning from us too a little bit, you know.
Very interesting.
So as always, we want you to show love.